So earlier this week, Bernard was talking about your fight when Bernard came down to 157 and the agreed weight was 158. Is there room for compromise, and could you negotiate a Golovkin-Canelo fight at 158?
Well, that's the conversation I will be having tomorrow. I'm not going to talk about details. I'm not going to talk about what we're going to talk about. Those negotiations will happen behind closed doors, and when we come to an agreement, we will let everybody know.
Oscar, buenas noches. Ahorita lo comentabas claramente, si Gennady Golovkin quiere enfrentar a Saúl, que te llame, ¿no? Y la segunda pregunta, ¿es el knockout más contundente que tú le has visto a Canelo?
Sí, era un knockout bien contundente, y era un knockout impresionante, y para mí se me hace que puede ser el knockout del año.
Oscar, right in front of you.
Yes, he said if that's the most devastating knockout that I've seen out of Canelo, and I strongly believe that that knockout will hold up as knockout of the year, and I believe it was even more devastating than the Kirkland knockout.
Oscar, Kevin Ioli.
Kevin.
You know, what is your thought process on making this fight? You know, we wanted to see him fight Golovkin tonight, and obviously you decided to go with Khan, and now Cotto's coming in the mix here possibly, right? So you have to deal with Cotto or Golovkin. So what's your thought process when you make the fight?
Well, you heard Canelo after the fight calling out Golovkin. I mean, he even wanted to fight him in the ring right now, tonight. That's the fight to make. And tomorrow I will make the call. I will start negotiating, and I really hope that we can come to an agreement.
Just to follow up on that, if I could, then, why has Cotto even been mentioned in the picture?
I've never mentioned Cotto.
So you guys are not at all?
I am not talking to Cotto. I am not negotiating with Cotto. Cotto is not even in the equation.
And so just Triple G.
That's the fight you guys want, correct?
Hola Oscar, como siempre Francisco Q Rivera con Estrella TV, gusto saludarte. Me llama mucho la atención lo que mencionas sobre Golovkin, contesta tu teléfono, lo que te vamos a llamar. ¿Ya lo tienes en speed dial? ¿A qué hora le vas a llamar más o menos?
Sí, no, ya tengo el número de todos sus representantes. Es la pelea que todo el mundo quiere ver, es la pelea que Canelo quiere. Como dijo el Canelo, no le huye a nadie. Y si la gente quiere ver esa pelea, la gente la va a ver. He asked if I have Golovkin's number on speed dial. I have all his representatives' number on speed dial. If that's the fight that everybody wants to watch, if that's the fight that Canelo wants, then I will get some well-deserved rest tonight, and wake up early in the morning and start making my phone calls.
Oscar, right to your right in front of you, right? John Castanino with UNLV. Just describe this arena, and obviously the experience that you've had this week, a great crowd, over 16,000. What do you make it seem?
It was a wonderful experience. I mean, every seat in the house was incredible. The views were amazing. I believe the fans had an amazing time. This has to be one of the best arenas that I've been in personally, and this will be, Las Vegas will be Canelo's home for many years to come, and obviously we will be sitting down with the MGM group and discussing future fights, and making Canelo Alvarez's home the MGM and this arena here. So it was a beautiful experience. One of the best arenas that we've ever been in across the country. It's AEG. Mr. Anschutz knows how to do it. The MGM group, they have a wonderful team behind them who was collaborating, and they've done a tremendous job with this arena. State of the art.
Right here, Oscar. I know most of the conversation here is about prospect of Canelo versus Triple G. Can you just give your thoughts about the sort of audacious challenge that Khan made and the effort that he gave? And he looked so good the first few rounds and he just got nailed. It's all the stuff we talked about leading up, the speed of work, Canelo's power.
Yeah, thank you, Dan, for noticing that. Amir Khan, I've always said Amir Khan is one of the most bravest fighter on the planet today. He's willing to be great. He's willing to. Amir Khan didn't lose nothing tonight. Amir Khan is going to come back. He's probably going to go fight at 154 or go down to 47. I mean, he looked really big, so I don't know if he can go to 47. But I'm telling you one thing: he can beat anybody at 47 and 54. Amir Khan, there's really no shame in his performance. I believe he was up on one scorecard. And the two other cards were really close. Canelo even mentioned, I mean, he got frustrated in the first couple of rounds. But that's what Amir does to you. And that's exactly why we love watching Amir Khan in fights. Is because he's an exciting fighter. I mean, I've always said he's too brave for his own good. Amir Khan has tremendous speed. There will not be another middleweight with speed like Amir Khan's.
Oscar?
Oscar, hace unos días dijiste que tenías que dejar marinar la pelea de Canelo y Golovkin.
I'm sorry, this is a message from Amir Khan. It says, I'm okay everyone, that's boxing for you. Congrats to Canelo, much love to all the fans. So that's who Amir Khan is.
Oscar, hace unos días comentaste que ibas a dejar marinar la pelea de Canelo y Golovkin. ¿Hubo algo que te dijo Canelo o que viste en esta pelea que te dice que mañana vas a llamar a negociar la pelea con Golovkin?
Nosotros siempre hemos dicho que la pelea de Canelo Golovkin iba a ser la próxima que se iba a negociar. Yo iba a hablar de los representantes el día 8 de mayo, el domingo, mañana. Así que eso no ha cambiado. Ese plan no ha cambiado. He asked, did I change my mind? That I mentioned that I was going to let this fight marinate with Canelo Golovkin. I like my steak medium rare, Kevin. I don't like it well done like Bob Arum. I don't like to marinate too much. But nothing changed my mind. I've always said that come May 8th, we will start negotiating with Golovkin's people.
Oscar, Bob Allen from USA Today. You talked about Vegas here being Canelo's home from here on out. What about Dallas if that fight is made?
Absolutely. I'm sure you saw Jerry Jones in the arena tonight. I invited him personally, and I appreciate him coming down. And that's how serious he is about taking a Canelo fight or several fights to his stadium in Dallas. And so I'm going to be doing a lot of work in the next week. I have to now fly to Dallas, and there's several other people who want to stage Canelo fights all over the country, all over the world now. So, it's a matter of just I'm gonna take maybe one day off, Sunday, and start working my magic to make Canelo's next fight happen. But Jerry Jones's arena in Dallas is a huge possibility for Canelo fights in the near future.
Oscar, to your right over here. Mohammed Mubarak with EURweb.com. Would you also consider Los Angeles as being a location, maybe Dodger Stadium?
Absolutely. What Magic Johnson has done and the Dodger organization with the Dodgers and with the stadium being one of the safest places, one of the safest arenas, stadiums in the country. They've revamped everything. They've put in a lot of money, and Canelo has a lot of fans in Los Angeles, and boxing's history shows that Los Angeles at Dodger Stadium has staged some of the biggest events in the history of this sport. So, like I said, I'll be talking to a lot of stadium owners and arena owners to see where we're going to stage Canelo's next fight.
Oscar, hablando del Steger, del periodista de la opinión que estás. Oscar, acabas de comentar que Khan no perdió nada en esta pelea, que ganó mucho en esta pelea. Si Khan no perdió nada en esta pelea, ¿qué ganó Canelo en esta pelea? Habiendo peleado tal vez 15 libras arriba en diferencia de peso acá. Y si nos puedes decir en qué peso subió Canelo a pelear.
Sí, el Canelo demostró en una manera contundente, ganó y demostró que realmente él puede ajustarse con los estilos como Amir Khan, un boxeador bastante rápido, pero también demostró que puede hacer ajustes en los rounds de la pelea. Saúl está mejorando en cada pelea, está más rápido, está tirando más jabs, así que el Canelo ganó mucho. Es lo que tenía que hacer y lo hizo. Si esta pelea hubiese ido los 12 asaltos, entonces la gente puede hablar y puede criticar más. Pero el hecho de que noqueó a un boxeador que es rápido como Amir Khan, eso sí vale mucho. You know, what did Amir Khan win? He won everything in this fight. I mean, he didn't lose nothing. But what did Canelo win? I mean, fighting a smaller guy, well, he won everything as well. I mean, he proved that he can make adjustments. He proved that he can throw better combinations, cut off the ring. He proved that he's just only getting better. And if he would have gone 12 rounds with Amir Khan, then yes, everybody could have criticized him like there's no tomorrow. But he did what he had to do. He knocked out a fast, elusive Amir Khan in a spectacular fashion.
Oscar,
from...
1 minute.
Oscar, John Gatlin, New York Examiner. Right here. You're obviously aware of the 15-day mandate that the WBC gave prior to this fight. Abel Sanchez and Gennady Golovkin stood over there about a half hour ago and said that you guys aren't really real in the challenge of Gennady Golovkin, and that he was just emotional in the aftermath of the fight. How real is this challenge, and are you quietly considering a fight with Manny Pacquiao?
Okay, so should I just not negotiate with them if that's what they're saying? Should I just go to somebody else and start negotiating with who? Manny Pacquiao? You know, like I said, it wasn't emotions. It was always, you know, Canelo believing in himself and proving, you know, the doubters that he has, or the critics, whatever you call them. You know, Canelo's a young guy. He's a fighter who wants to fight everybody and prove to everyone. And like he said, he's not afraid of nobody. And I've always mentioned, these last few weeks. Come Sunday, I'm gonna start making my phone calls and start negotiating. So, look, if anybody doubts me, if anybody doubts Canelo, I mean, what am I supposed to do? I'm gonna make my phone call tomorrow and then I'll take it from there.
In the UK, you said how two judges had Canelo in front. How did you have the fight after 5 rounds?
I had it even. I had Amir who was in the fight. I mean, I called it. I mean, that's Amir Khan's speed and his amateur experience. I just didn't expect Amir to be this fast and carry the weight. I just didn't expect it, and I had the fight pretty even in the 5th round. Amir Khan did a tremendous job, he really did.
Were you concerned at that time?
Yes, I was. Just like a lot of people were as well. We were concerned, but that's who Amir Khan is. He has an excellent corner. He's a gifted boxer, disciplined boxer. He's a hard worker, and that's exactly what we expected. I mean, he got caught with one punch. He got caught with a punch that was coming at him lightning fast with tons of power. Guys, Canelo's only getting better. Canelo looked sensational in this fight, cutting off the ring, using his side-to-side movements, using his jab and not getting frustrated, because if Canelo does not change his game plan, he could have got frustrated for 12 more rounds. That's how good Amir Khan is.
Oscar, Jesús.
How many minutes? 1 minute. 1 minute.
Over here, Oscar. Over here. Jesús López, ESPN Deportes 1460. Oscar, estamos celebrando el 5 de mayo. La historia marca que han existido grandes boxeadores mexicanos, como en el caso de Julio César Chávez, como en el caso de Salvador Sánchez, y hay muchos mexicanos que aún se encuentran dudosos de aceptar a Saúl Canelo Álvarez en la talla de esos grandes campeones. ¿Tú crees que con el knockout de hoy a Saúl Canelo Álvarez le alcance para ser parte de esas glorias, empezar a escribir una historia más grande? ¿Y hasta dónde influyó realmente la diferencia de peso en esta pelea para este tipo de knockout, Oscar, desde tu punto de vista? Gracias.
Sí, no, yo creo que críticas siempre va a haber, y eso es lo bonito del deporte, que cada uno que sea crítico, al contrario, le ayuda al boxeador para trabajar más duro, para prepararse mejor. Y como lo fue Julio César Chávez, como lo fue Salvador Sánchez, en algún momento de su carrera ellos también recibían críticas. Las críticas siempre van a estar, y por eso uno como boxeador tiene que, ¿qué es la palabra? Aceptarlas, ¿no? Con mucho cariño, ¿no? ¿Me entiendes? Así que las críticas son positivas, pero si este knockout no demostró lo que es el Canelo, lo que va a ser el Canelo en el futuro, yo no sé qué pueda hacer el Canelo para convencer. So, you know, he mentioned the great like Julio César Chávez and Salvador Sánchez and so on, of Mexican champions. Will this fight convince the critics or the doubters that Canelo's for reals? And just like Chavez, just like Salvador Sanchez, just like any fighter who's coming up, or you're going to get criticized. You're going to receive critics no matter what, till the end of your career. And what you must do is embrace those criticisms and turn them into a fuel, you know, use it as a motivation, and because the critics and the criticism will never go away. So one thing you must do is embrace it and use it to become a better fighter. So Canelo Alvarez, he's only getting better, he's only getting faster, he's getting lighter on his feet, as every fight goes on, and I'm sure after the Golovkin fight happens, he's still gonna get criticized. So you just, as a fighter, embrace it and just accept it.
Buenas noches, Omar Pérez Campos de Promedios. Oye,
un minuto. 1 minute.
Other minute. Precisamente Canelo ha aceptado retos contra Trout, contra Mayweather, contra Lara, contra Cotto. Ha sido muy claro el Canelo Team que no tiene miedo de pelear con Golovkin, pero solo ponen una condición, 155 libras. Sin embargo, el Consejo insiste que esta es pelea mandatoria y que Golovkin está en la libertad de pelear en 160. Si las negociaciones no progresan en eso y el CMB de todos modos obliga a la pelea, ¿tú ves un escenario donde preferirías que Saúl dejara el cetro y regresara a Super Welter? ¿O estarías dispuesto a que suba de peso?
No, pues como yo dije, las negociaciones van a empezar mañana y hasta que se haga la pelea la voy a anunciar y se van a anunciar los detalles de la pelea. Pero sí, vamos a obedecer a la CMB y empezar a negociar, porque eso es lo que las reglas indican y obviamente pues nosotros respetamos la CMB.
Oscar, right here, Rick.
Hey, Ricky.
Let me ask Oscar, you had two middleweights on this card get devastating wins. What's the probability of matching Curtis Stevens with David Lemieux in the near future?
Great question. Look, the middleweight division is probably the hottest division in boxing today. And you have power punchers, you have great boxers, you have experienced fighters like Curtis, tremendous champions like Lemieux, upcoming young fighters like Quigley in the middleweight division. So everybody's going to have to face each other at one point or another. That's just the bottom line. I mean, if you want to become the best and you want to become the top middleweight, you have to fight everybody. And I mean, there's a reason why we put Curtis on the card. There's a reason why Lemieux is on the card. There's a reason why Quigley's on the card. We are reviving and bringing excitement to the middleweight division. Because the middleweight division, just like Hopkins will tell you, is probably one of the most prestigious divisions in the history of this sport. So that's our plan. That's our plan, is to make sure that the best fight the very best.
Hey, Oscar, right here. If you couldn't make the Triple G fight, what about Lemieux and Canelo?
Well, look, I mean, obviously, that's a fight that I obviously wouldn't mind making at the right time. You know, first thing is first, and like I said, I want to make my phone calls and start negotiating. And we hopefully we can make a deal with Golovkin, and that's it.
This question is for David Lemieux. Can you hear me? Hi, Oscar. This is Adriana Jimenez for Fino Boxing. This question is for David Lemieux. David, congratulations on a spectacular performance. How good does it feel to get back on the winning column? And who do you want to fight next? Do you want one of the champions in your division?
Thank you. Feels great to be back on the right track. I'm up to fight anybody. Anybody who is the most significant. You name him, I'll fight him. The negotiations are right. I'm willing to fight anybody, anywhere in the world. Does that answer the question?
Oscar. 1 minute, ET, 1 minute. Okay.
Oscar, Red Hawk on LA Watch Times. To your left. To your left, Oscar. To your left, Oscar.
Oh.
Oscar, Triple G had 16,000 loud Mexican fans. Tonight, Canelo had 16,000 loud Mexican fans. Do you feel any pressure in terms of letting the Mexican fans down if this fight isn't in September on Mexican Independence Day?
No, no pressure whatsoever. I feel very confident that my side can come to an agreement and make the right deal for both fighters.
You look good today in your performance. You stepped up in competition and you handled it well. What's your future for 2016 look like? What do you want to do? You want to step up and take a top 10 opponent on?
You know, this was my first step up in the professional ranks. I was happy with the performance. It was a great learner. It was a great experience fight for me. I've never went past 4 rounds, and I went 10 rounds tonight with a seasoned professional. You know, I proved to myself that I belong in that ring at 10 rounds at that top level. It's up to Golden Boy, my management team, my coaches. You know, I'm still 24 years of age, 11 fights. I've still a lot of learning to do, a lot of experience to get. But I'm growing every time. I'm learning every day I get into that gym, and every day I get into that gym I want to learn and keep improving. You know, the future's definitely bright for Team Quigley, and I'm looking forward to the future. Thank you.
All right, Jay. Over here, Oscar, to your right, from Supreme Boxing. I don't see Diego up here, but what are your thoughts about his performance tonight?
Diego de la Hoya looked sensational. He boxed beautifully. He was aggressive. He stepped up in competition against another undefeated fighter who came to win, and he did what he had to do. So, I mean, I strongly believe Diego is a handful of fights away from a world title. This fight here, this win here, on the big stage, under the big lights, the bright lights, he looks sensational, and he passed the test with flying colors.
Oscar Francisco Hernández de Grupo Radio Centro de la Ciudad de México. Por años, las fechas del 5 de mayo, 15 de septiembre, las tuvieron Pacquiao, Mayweather. Ahora ya con Canelo como ese nuevo ídolo, las fechas patrias regresan prácticamente a ser de un mexicano.
Sí, no, pues obviamente las fechas mexicanas, se empezó con las peleas de Julio César Chávez, el gran campeón mexicano, mi ídolo. Y entonces la torcha, ¿no? la antitorcha se pasó a mí.